Ethics asks a serious question. What is the rational goal of human life? For the Cārvāka, the answer begins with knowledge itself. What can we actually know? The Cārvāka holds that perception alone is a reliable source of knowledge. What we directly experience through senses is real, and what goes beyond experience cannot claim certainty. Inference may help in everyday life, but it cannot establish metaphysical truths. Scripture, revelations, and testimonies have no authority unless they point back to some observable reality. Because of this epistemology, the Cārvāka finds no proof of a soul, no verifiable afterlife, and no rational basis for heaven, hell, karma, or liberation beyond death. From this follows their ethics. If this embodied life is the only life that reason can affirm, then moral aims must belong to this life and not to imagined worlds. The Cārvāka rejects heaven promised by ritual and liberation imagined beyond death. But this does not lead to reckless indulgence. The Cārvāka begins from a simple observation that pleasure and pain are inseparable from bodily experience. A life entirely free from suffering is not a rational ideal. Rejecting all pleasures because it has some cost is equally unreasonable. What the Cārvāka proposes is a rational way of living life, choosing actions that increase well-being and while keeping suffering within human limits. Pleasure here does not mean excess or addiction, it means enjoyment, guided by awareness, proportion, and consequences. A good action is one that produces more well-being than harm, and bad action is one that deepens avoidable suffering. Of the four traditional aims, wealth, pleasure, virtue, and liberation, virtue and liberation are set aside as scriptural constructions. Wealth matters only as means. Enjoyment remains the end, but only in a rational sense. Religion and ritual lose authority, not because morality disappears, but because morality is now grounded in human life itself and not in some unseen worlds. Cārvāka ethics is not crude hedonism, it is the ethical conclusion of a perception-based philosophy, a rational ethics for finite beings, insisting that we live well, clearly, and without illusion, because this life is the only one we can be sure of.